Hi, I asked the tarot to give me an idea of the future of the relationship between the Orange Man and the Christian right, who largely believe that he is a protector or savior of their rights and beliefs, some even believing that he has been chosen by God for this mission. The covering card, the general atmosphere and influences, is the Ten of Cups, true friendship, lasting success, attainment of heart's desires. They believe he is fighting the good fight for them. Although by no means all people in this movement support the current military actions in the Middle East, some of the loudest voices believe these are the end times and the outcome is inevitable. The crossing card, the opposing forces for good or evil, is the Four of Pentacles, clinging to material possessions, love of earthly power, someone with a miserly, ungenerous character. It seems pretty obvious to me that this card describes the Orange Man, and it is his nature that is working against the outcome this religious movement hopes for. The card that is the basis of the matter is the Eight of Cups reversed. The spiritual is abandoned for the material. The religious right has abandoned the basic teachings of their faith for power and want to force an outcome rather than achieve it through right behavior and faith in the teachings they profess to believe in. The influence that has just passed is judgment, a change in personal consciousness which is now on the verge of blending with the universal. I read this as the Orange Man's beginning to realize he ain't going to be around forever, and it's given him an opportunity to come face to face with his past and inner demons. However, from all we are seeing currently, it looks as though the opportunity has been wasted. An influence that may come into the picture is the sun. Attainment, material happiness, achievements in fields that take a seed of creative energy and bring it into the realm of physical manifestation. I would say for the Christian right, this means they still believe things are going as anticipated, that he's just not allowing anyone, say the Pope for instance, to throw him off the track. For the Orange Man, it means he may get away with everything and get to keep all his grifted wealth and stick his name all over everything before he goes. I don't think that's good, but this is a card that represents one way things may go in the relationship between him and this movement, probably dependent on the outcome of this little incursion into Iran. The influence that will operate in the near future is the Four of Cups reversed. New instructions, new relationships. I believe this indicates that more distance will develop between the Orange Man and the overall movement, possibly because of all the bad behavior that he's been exhibiting recently, but also dependent on the outcome of this military action, which will mean they'll need to establish other relationships that they think will bring their desires into being. For him, well, maybe he'll meet new people in whatever country he runs away to, or maybe even in prison. The fears are the Knight of Cups, messages, possible advances, a proposal or invitation. This could mean peace talks that keep dragging the situation on with hopes of an end to the impasse of this war. The environment, opinions, and influences of others is represented by the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Inertia, idleness, stagnation, careless habit. This administration is filled with people who do not take governing seriously and will achieve nothing. The hopes are represented by the Knight of Wands reversed. Division, interruption, discord. What would seem to be the opposite of what should really happen. Discord is the desired outcome. Think about that. And the outcome is represented by the Knight of Swords reversed. Incapacity, extravagance, braggadocio. The Orange Man is not capable of giving the movement what it desired. He can only flail around, brag about himself and things he's never achieved, and waste money. The four knights together mean a lot will be happening over the next few weeks. A lot of aggression, a lot of rash moves, creating big changes that will lead to a bad overall outcome in this war, and a lot of thoughtless, deceitful, and cruel statements coming from the Orange Man's social media feed and his mouth. We will waste even more money while things drag on. Let's hope he is not allowed to also waste the precious lives of our military. When you see 4 of something in a row in one reading, it means something. In this case, courtesy of Google AI, and I quote, 4 nights in a reading signify an intense period of high energy, rapid change, and proactive movement, often indicating multiple competing forces or a need to balance fast-paced actions. With the Knight of Swords in the outcome position, this suggests a chaotic conclusion driven by reckless speed, aggressive communication marked by sharp words, or a terrible mistake due to impulsive decisions because time was not taken to think things through. It is a warning to slow down and reconsider actions before they become irreversible. The reverse Knight of Wands can indicate reckless behavior or a mess, while the reverse Knight of Pentacles suggests stagnation or inefficiency, unquote. The mess is becoming more and more apparent to all, as it will affect our overall economy and the finances of everybody who isn't a millionaire. This is LauraJthe.Treetalker. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I love comments. Have a great week. See you next time. Bye.